Good morning. Great morning. Fantastic, marvelous morning. Yes, it is. This is a brand new day that we will never, ever see again. And for that, we need to give our Creator the honor, the praise, the glory, and the acknowledgement that He is. Because I'm breathing. I'm alive. And I was chosen. Yes. So, y'all know before I get started, I got to share my testimonial song, right? And it is entitled Precious Lord, Take My Hand by Luther Barnes. So I don't own the rights to this song, but guess what? I'm going to praise him and ask him to keep holding my hand because I'm going to keep holding on to his. All right, let's meditate. All right.
I remember when I was growing up, I used to hear the old folks sing this song. Oh, I didn't understand what they were singing about because I really didn't know what they were going through. Now that I've grown up to become a man, I understand what they meant when they sang this song. Precious Lord, take my hand, lead me on, let me stand. I get so tired, I get so weak, I get worn. Through the storm, through the night, lead me home by the light. Take my hand, precious Lord, lead me home. When my way grows free, precious Lord, make a plea. When my life is almost gone, hear my cry, hear my call, hold my hand, let's not fall. Take my hand, precious Lord, lead me on. The dark disappear and the night draws near. When the day has passed and gone, at the river, Lord, I stand. God, my feet, hold my hand. Take my hand, precious Lord, lead me on. Precious Lord, take my hand, lead me on, let me stand. I get so tired, I get so weak, and I get worn.
Precious Lord, lead me on. Take my hand. I will never let it go again. Almost 33 years ago, while underneath a parked car in the streets of Philadelphia, 3 o'clock in the morning, I put myself underneath a parked car, seeking refuge from my stepson. We were both 34 years of age in our active and severe addiction. He wanted to do harm to me. And as I ran from him, I saw the bottom of the car, and a flashback from my past came of being underneath the bed. I said, if I just get underneath the car, he can't get to me. And while underneath that car, my life flashed before me. It flashed before me. How, Edwina, at the age of 34, are you underneath a parked car? Class vice president, co-captain of the cheerleader team, aspiration of being a model and an actress and a phys ed teacher, voted one of the most likely to succeed. My father and mother said I was the smartest one out of the 6 kids. But how did I get underneath that parked car? The addiction, the ugly side of addiction, the rapes, the beat-ups, the setup, being spit on, called all kinds of names. I even committed murder as a prostitute because I didn't want the world to judge me. And so that ugly side of addiction causes us to transform to something we no longer even recognize. But guess what? Somewhere deep inside, that's reserved just for the Creator, I reached out my hand and I said, Lord, whoever they say you are, take me out this life now or show me a better way. And February the 23rd of 2023, we will be celebrating 33 years for the purpose of staying sober and helping another alcoholic achieve sobriety. You may not be an alcoholic, but you have some kind of addiction. And with the 12 spiritual principles of Alcoholics Anonymous, right? We must be prepared to save just one more. Okay? So I don't represent Alcoholics Anonymous. I don't represent the 5 agreements by the Ruiz family. And I don't represent Dr. Sonja for the transformational teachings from P3 University. And I do not own the rights to that song. But Lord, precious Lord, take my hand. All right. Welcome to February the 6th, Perspective with Edwina B, y'all. Miss Cuckoo for Cocoa Pops, as you can see, on the AA Daily Reflection reading, a rallying point, and incorporating the 5 agreements and the transformational teachings of Dr. Sonja from P3 University. So you know what our agenda and our format is. And so I want to dive right into the reading today. But I also want to announce to you that on February the 23rd of 2023, I will be hosting a Zoom presentation just to share with you a little bit more about my journey to transparency and authenticity. Yes, it was and is a journey. But underneath that parked car, my God accepted me just the way I was. Weighing only 90 pounds, hair matted down, face sunken in, a couple of teeth. But he accepted me just the way I was. And so, as Donald Lawrence so eloquently says, we are not a natural being having a spiritual experience. We are a spiritual being living and walking this natural experience. So therefore, the physical mask must go. For me, humility is the foundation for transparency and authenticity. Remove the mask. Yes. Don't need it. Don't want it. Huh? Don't need it. Don't want it. Huh? Yes. Yes. I love me today. I love me today because I learned that God accepted my extended hand underneath that parked car. And so as a result, I use this analogy of removing the mask, even down to these dentures. Cocaine and alcohol took my teeth, but recovery gave me 3 sets. I want to put them back in only for the purpose of articulation and pronunciation. But if you ever see me in person, you already know what's coming. Why? Because it's about the spiritual message and not the messenger. So make sure you look for the invite to the Zoom presentation on February the 23rd, okay, as we celebrate 33 years in recovery. So this is how quick I can get together in the morning. Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. 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 Voila. Huh? All right, let's get to the readings today. Okay, let me take a sip of my coffee that I haven't drank all yet. And let's see what we have, okay? All right, let me get my glasses. Listen, I told you I'm cuckoo for Cocoa Pops. I don't care. Yes, I can see, right? Doesn't matter if I got a handle on the other one or not. So, I don't want to do that, okay? So let's go here and let's read the reading for today. Open up your spiritual ears and your spiritual eyes, and let's read what the reflection reading is for today. February the 6th, a rallying point. And our co-founder from the 12 Steps and 12 Traditions, page 33, takes this quote. Therefore, step 2 is the rallying point for all of us, whether agnostic, atheist, or former believer. We stand together on this step. And the person in recovery shares his perspective. I feel that AA is a God-inspired program and that God is at every AA meeting. I see, believe, and have come to know that AA works because I have stayed sober today. I am turning my life over to AA and to God by going to an AA meeting. If God is in my heart and everyone else, then I am a small part of a whole and I am not unique. If God is in my heart and he speaks to me through other people, then I must be a channel of God to other people. I should seek to do his will by living spiritual principles, and my reward will be sanity and emotional sobriety. Listen, and anytime you can get emotional from reading something, it just goes to show you, how receptive I am to spiritual knowledge. But let's get in touch with the topic. A rallying point. Y'all know I dissect the words, right? So, let me give you one example that many of you are going to be doing on February the 12th of 2023. You're going to be rallying for the Kansas City Chiefs or the Philadelphia Eagles. You're going to be rallying. You're going to be rallying. So do you get that example? All right. When you go to your child's school or your mother or father's event, you are rallying for them to win or for them to do their best. You are rallying. You are rallying to God to say, woo, help me, rallying. Yes. So you know what it means now, right? Okay, so let's apply it to these 12 spiritual principles of Alcoholics Anonymous, particularly step 2. All right, so let's dissect this, okay? So he says here, therefore, step 2 is the rallying point for all of us, And this is what I like about Alcoholics Anonymous. It's inclusive. It is inclusive. Yes, yes, yes. God's love is inclusive, never exclusive, no matter what. Oh, that is so comforting. That is so freeing. Yes, to know that all of God's creation at one point in time will have that knee-bowing experience, and that tongue will confess that he is. All right. So now in Alcoholics Anonymous, this is how humble we are. We say what? Whether you're agnostic, atheist, or a former believer, we can stand together on this step. You know why? Because regardless of what your belief system is or is not, you had a drinking problem. Hey, you became an alcoholic. Mm-hmm. You could not save yourself. Mm-hmm. Okay, so it doesn't matter what your belief system is or is not. Do you want the pain to stop? Do you want to stop drinking? Do you want to stop the unmanageability? No matter what, do you want that to stop? And guess who can't do it? You and nor me. All right. And so step 2 says, came to believe that a power greater than ourselves could restore us to sanity, only meaning soundness of mind. All right. So let's go. So again, in Alcoholics Anonymous, we don't care what you believe. We know that you got an alcohol problem like we do. All right. And so he goes on to say, come on, William. He goes on to say, this is what I want right here. We stand together on this step. And so the person in recovery writes, I feel that AA is a God-inspired program and that God is at every meeting. I feel that. I feel that. I feel that, right? I feel that. And so there is something that had to happen before that made him feel. I feel that. What? I feel that. I feel that. Emotions. Oh my God. I feel that what? Here it is. Right? Is that AA is a God-inspired program. AA is a God-inspired program. He feels that. I feel that. I believe that. I witness that every day. I didn't in the beginning, but because I came back, I came to believe that a power greater than me met me and delivered me and prepared me from underneath that car. Yes. Yes. And when he put me on a pathway to recovery of being involved in the AA, Alcoholics Anonymous spiritual program, not religious program, it had to be God-inspired, even though I didn't know him personally. Yes, I was taught God was a bad God. He was a punishing God. People who are agnostic and atheists don't do whatever. Guess what? Every knee shall bow, right? And so let's continue to evaluate that he believes and came to feel that God is a God-inspired program and that God is at every AA meeting. He says, I see, believe, and have come to know that AA works because I have stayed sober. Oh my God. I see, believe, and know that AA works. Why? Because I am sober just for today, nearly 33 years later. Yes, I didn't know that I could even stop. I wanted to stop. I couldn't stop, but I wanted to stop. the spiritual principles came out of the Bible, the scriptures, right? When the Oxford group used them from a religious angle. Well, we know religion is man-made. God is spirit. And so y'all know how I felt about the religious field, almost 18 years ago. So I know beyond a shadow of a doubt. Why? Because I kept coming. I kept coming to the meetings. Why? Because I remember I kept going to the bar. I kept going to the hit house. I kept going to the John. I kept going to prostitution. I know what it means to keep going. I know what it means. But now I'm coming to a place where spirituality is all around us because it is God inspired. All right. All right. So let's continue. All right. I tell you, I love recovery. Right. Then he says, right, I am turning my life over to AA and to God by going to an AA meeting. See, I just give you an example, right? How we, right, make decisions to go shopping, to lie, to steal. We make decisions all day long. We make decisions to go to the bar, to the hit house. We make decisions, right? But because he put me on a pathway to recovery, not knowing where I was going, but I knew what the hell was behind me, and I did not want to go back there. Oh, hell to the no. So I kept coming. And in the beginning, AA became my higher power, the people that were in the meetings. People that I didn't know, didn't even look like me, right? But my God is colorblind because he's spirit. Remember what Donna Lawrence said, this is just the physical. We are spiritual human beings. So when we stop looking at the physical and look deep into the spirit, we know that God is working. Why? Because we stayed sober today. He removed that obsession and that compulsion. So now we have to work on our attitudes, ideas, behaviors, belief system by doing our 4-step inventory. But first, we had to believe that a power greater than ourselves could restore us to sanity, soundness of mind. I do not want to go back underneath that parked car. All right, so let's see how he does it, right? I tell you, my cuckoo for Cocoa Pie, I love me today. So he says, right, where you at? Okay, he says, if God is in my heart and everyone else is, then I am a small part of a whole and I am not unique. Did you hear that? Right? If we go to a meeting, right, all of us have the same common denominator, right? Alcoholism. And we all have the same common denominator that we want to become better people. We want to, right, find out our spiritual destiny. We want to be of service to others. But first, we have to have it in our heart to want to live. Underneath that parked car, I wanted to die even after attempts of suicide, or I wanted to live, but I did not want to make the choice. You have to make the choice. So if you choose and chose that I live, then prepare me to touch one more. All right? All right. I tell you, boy. Oh, Lord. Can y'all imagine me on the stage? Yeah. One day. Okay. And so he goes on to say, right? If God is in my heart and he speaks to me through other people, then I must be a channel of God to other people. Oh, my God. I'm sorry. No, I ain't sorry. No, I'm not sorry. Oh, one girl out of all the speakers that came to the rehab, one girl sat up there and she shared like no other person I had heard. She shared about how she did, what she did, how she felt when she did it. And I was like, oh my God, she's sharing all that in front of everybody. Yes, she did. And she also shared where she got the help from And I said, then Lord, if you keep me sober long enough, I wanted to be able to share just like her. So God used her, right, to get to me. And he's using me to get to you. Just one more. Just one more. You see how powerful that is? Oh my God, I get so emotional. Okay. All right, wait. Then he says, right. I should seek to do his will by living spiritual principles, and my reward will be sanity and emotional sobriety, right? I should seek his will. See, in Alcoholics Anonymous and in God's world, you still got some self-will going up in here. You still have the ability, once you stop drinking and you are somewhat been restored to sanity, you have a choice to keep on this road of recovery. Even as you stumble and fall, you will be doing it in a forward position, not in a backward position, right? And so if I learn through utilizing the 12 spiritual principles, incorporating the 5 agreements by the Ruiz family, and now the transformational teachings by Dr. Sonja, I will be seeking God's will all day long, and not just in what I'm doing, but what I'm thinking, what I'm saying, right? I should seek to do his will by living spiritual principles. You can see from my transparency, I ain't intimidated by no man. No, I'm not. AJ Harding shared about it's not about pleasing people. It's about pleasing God, right? And so I seek every day, all day, to do his will. Now, let me tell you, because I'm transparent, there's times I want to say, God, fellowship, look, I'll be right back. Yes, because it's about making progress and not perfection. But I recognize what I'm doing, because I've been restored to soundness of mind. I've been restored to sanity. And I've also been restored to emotional sobriety, because it was our emotions, our feelings that got us drunk, because we wanted to, right, camouflage all of those feelings that we've been concealing, that needs to be revealed in order to heal. Free from recovery, emerge empowered to give hope to others, help others prosper equally. It's a rallying point. And so now that I know I include the 12 spiritual principles, right, I also want to highlight, right, the 5 agreements, right? So let's do that, okay, real quick. All right. So here we have, right, we did the overview, the 5 agreements. Be impeccable with your word, right? Don't sin against yourself and don't sin against others, right? Don't take anything personally, right? Don't make any assumptions, right? And if you do 1, 2, and 3, I will always do my best. And number 5, be skeptical, but learn to listen, I don't want to sin against myself. I don't want to take anybody's opinion or praise personally. I don't want to make any assumptions. And I always want to do my best, because I want to do God's will, not mine. And that's only to stay sober and help another alcoholic achieve sobriety. All right. And then number 5 says, I must be skeptical, but learn to listen to what I'm saying to myself, to what I'm saying about other people. Yeah. Listen, it's almost time for me to go to my meeting, so I got to cut this short. But I want to again invite you to February the 23rd, so I can show you the rallying point of my journey, right, to being transparent and authentic, right, by practicing humility one day at a time. If it's God's will, we're back tomorrow. I'll see you then. In the meantime, rally for today. God bless you. All right.